Friends, in today's section, we are going to study the major pests being seen on wheat, bajra, and maize crops. The major pest observed on wheat crop is known as pink borer. The scientific name is Sisemania inferens. The same species is also been observed on sorghum or jawar crop. The family is Noctuidae and the order is Lepidoptera. If you see the mark of identification, the adult is small in size, mostly straw colored. Forewings have faint longitudinal bands been observed in the middle, while the hindwings are pale in color. If you see the caterpillars, mostly known as larvas, are relatively smaller in size and pink in color. They are smooth and have few dark spots on the body, from which bears a hair-like outgrowth which is almost 22 to 25 mm in length. If you see the host range of this particular species, it is mostly been found on sorghum, maize, sugarcane, paddy, ragi, barley, oat, and few of the grasses living apart wheat crop. If we see the life cycle of this particular pest, the eggs are pale yellow in color and mostly been laid in the mask beneath the leaf sheath. The incubation period is nearby 4 to 9 days. The larvas, which are pink in color, have a very long life period of about 3 to 4 weeks in which it damages the crop. The pupation mostly is being done in the stem. The pupal period is nearby 5 to 12 days and the pupa is dark brown in color. The adults, which have a short period of about 5 to 7 days. In this way, the total life cycle is completed within a period of about 6 to 7 weeks. If we see about the carryover stage, mostly is the larval stage. At the latter life cycle period, it pupates in the stubbles, which becomes its carryover stage. Now we will see how the pink larva damages the crop. Initially, these larvae start feeding on the central leaf, from which it emits a hole and comes out, expressing a symptom known as pinhole symptom, due to which the central shoot starts turning brown and later on dries out. Even if the lower leaf remains green and healthy, showing a symptom known as dead heart of the plant. The larva, after boring, it plunges the hole with the help of the excreta, and in the panicle initiation stage, there is a white ear symptom being seen, showing empty panicles, very common in the field, which remain straight and whitish in the color. Few basic management strategies are adopted for controlling this particular pest. Mostly, the cultural one is removal and destruction of the stubbles. As the pupation takes place over there, whatever hibernating stages are been there, they are removed and killed out. Along with that, removal and destruction of the dead-hearted plants by burning them. And if the infestation is severe, then only application of insecticides such as 0.2% carbaryl immediately after the incidence is been observed can be carried out. Second pest is known as Jessid. There are different species of Gessid such as Ambrasca species, Erythroneura jaina, or Tylosciba maculifrons are the species observed on the wheat crop. It belongs to family Cicadillidae and order Hemiptera. Mostly, this particular pest is common on majority of the cereals along with the wheat, but has not capacity to cause severe damage. Mostly been prominent in Vidarbha region. This particular pest is dark brown in color with wedged body and tries to walk diagonally. The nymphal and adult stage. The nymphs are greenish in color with deep red colored eyes. The host plants are wheat, paddy and nagli. If you see the life cycle of this particular pest, it completes its life cycle in 3 stages. Mostly the egg stage. A single female lays near about 30 eggs in the leaf tissues or maybe in the midrib of the leaves. Mostly the incubation period is about 7 to 13 days. Whereas the nymphal stage is been completed with 5 molts within a period of about 10 to 17 days. Whereas this particular adult stage, which is nearly similar to that of the nymphal stage, completes its period in next 13 to 15 days. In this way, the total life cycle is completed in a period of about 40 days. Regarding nature of damage, both the nymphs and adults cause damage to the plant. Mostly to the lower side of the leaf, they start sucking the cell sap, due to which there are several white or yellow speaks or small patches being observed on the leaves. But in severe cases, the total leaf may turn silvery white and may dry out also. So to manage such type of pests, mostly different insecticides such as 0.02% dimethoate or fenthion, phosphomidone, methyl dimethoate can be sprayed whenever the incidence of such pests are being observed. Now we are going to see one of a very important major pest on several different crops in a very brief manner, known as termites. It is also commonly known as white ants, and locally it is known as Vivae also. The scientific name is Odontoterm obsessus, or it may also be known as Microtermis obsessus also. The family is Termitidae and it belongs to order Isoptera. The most important economical point about this particular pest is that it lives in a colony, hence known as a social insect, and as it has several castes been present, it is also been known as polymorphic. See, regarding the host range, at present this particular pest is been emerging a severe problem on several crops such as wheat, sugarcane, groundnut, cotton, chili, brinjal and several pomological type of fruit crops also. As termites are polymorphic in nature, they get classified into 2 groups. The first one is known as reproductive caste, whereas the second one is known as non-reproductive caste, of which the first one, which is known as reproductive caste, they are mostly winged in form and live at the center of the colony in a specially developed chamber known as a royal chamber. The first most important caste is known as the queen. It is a lonely individual being developed from the fertilized eggs. It is larger in size and has a creamy white abdomen been present with several transverse dark brown strips been seen. It is the only reproductive caste which lays several thousands of eggs within a lifespan of near about 5 to 10 years, whereas the king is comparatively smaller than the queen but bigger than other caste and been developed from the unfertilized eggs, having a secondary winged insect which only purpose is for mating and lives for few period only. The second group is known as non-reproductive caste, or we can call it as a sterile caste also, which is mostly wingless in nature. The most busiest caste of all the caste is known as the workers. They are being developed from the fertilized eggs and mostly are whitish yellow in color. The head is wider than that of the reproductive caste, whereas the mandibles are stronger and mostly been used for gnawing of the food. Mostly the woods avoid light and requires high humidity for their survival, whereas the soldiers are developed from the unfertilized eggs. They have a very large head with very strong sickle like shaped mandibles being developed, which are being used for the purpose of defending the colony if the attack is being done by another individuals. Termites have a very interesting life cycle. After the first monsoon shower, in the evening hours, the king and the queen takes a flight known as nuptial flight. After a short flight, in the air itself, they mate and they shed their wings. After that, they settle down in the soil. The female, with the help of its abdomen, bores into the soil and start laying the eggs at a very high frequency of about 1 eggs per second, and near about within a period of 24 hours it lays 70,000 to 80,000 eggs at a time. Incubation period is of 1 week, mostly in the summer months, whereas within a period of about 6 months the larvae develop into soldier or worker type of caste, whereas the reproductive caste needs near about 1 to maximum 2 years to gain maturity. The place where such type of termites live are known as termitoria. Mostly these type of insects select sandy loam to sandy soil to prepare a very technically strong and very high featured house for themselves, known as the termitoria. If you see, the termitoria is mostly mountain shaped and being developed by several chambers. Most important central opening is known as ventilation shaft, through which the aeration is been provided to different stages been living inside, whereas there are several openings at the lateral side known as chimneys, from where their inner and outward movement is mostly been done. Just below them there are fungus combs where the food is being stored. Under these fungus combs there are several galleries in which the young ones are being reared, known as nursery galleries. And below them, at the center and most safest place, is a very big large cell been developed, which is been known as royal chamber, in which mostly the queen lives. In such a way, a very unique type of structure is being developed for living of the termite. Mostly the workers try to attack the dry woods, maybe the furniture. Some type of species they prefer the plants, maybe known as the wet wood also. By cutting or nibbling that particular wood, they collect the necessary food material and they move it towards their colony known as termitarias. These particular workers are the only damaging stages being seen. These particular termites can be managed by first locating the queen by digging out the termitaria known as mound also and destroying it. Automatically the total colony will be destroyed. Or you can fumigate the total termitaria with the help of fumigants such as CS2 or methyl bromide, or maybe CS2 with chloroform mixture at the rate of 250 milliliters per termitaria or mold. Also, the wheat seed treatment can be given before sowing with 160 ml chlorpyrifos in 1 liter water, spread on gunny bag in which 40 kilos of seeds are being soaked, which remains a effective treatment to avoid the attack of termites. The next major pest, which is very much common in wheat, is known as rats. We call it as rodents also. Above non-insect pest has been studied in a very brief manner in non-insect pest section. Refer that section to study this pest. Now we will see the common pest observed on bajra and ragi crop. One of the major pests observed on bajra is known as bajra shoot fly. The scientific name is Artherigona approximate. Family is Mucidae and it belongs to order known as Diptera. We see the life cycle of this fly. Mostly the egg stage belongs for a period of about 37 to 48 hours, in which mostly the female gives small tiny oval shaped white eggs. Larvas, commonly known as the maggots, are whitish in color and are the damaging stage. Mostly the survival period is about 7 to 9 days. The pupation takes place mostly in the ear head and it pupates for a period of about 6 days. The adults, which are somewhat similar to the housefly but smaller than the housefly and are grayish white in color. This pest is moreover common all over India, but it has been seen severe mostly in Tamil Nadu state. It prefers merely cold weather and causes damage on the seedling as well as matured plant. Whenever the damage is caused in the young stage, a dead-hearted symptom is been observed. If the infestation is on the latter stage, the ear head is been totally destroyed, forming chaffy grains. To manage this pest, mostly seeds can be treated with different chemicals, but the most preferred of all is thiomethazone 30 Fs at the rate of 1 liter for 100 kg seeds. Another treatment is known as granule application. Mostly carbofuran or phorate can be applied in the furrows at the time of sowing at the rate of 2.5 kilos active ingredients per hectare. Also, we can spray different chemicals in the nurseries, but mostly the spraying is being done if the infestation is being observed in the main field. Different chemicals such as endosulfan, dimethoate can be used at a rate of 250 liters fluid per hectare. The most common species been observed on bajra is known as blistle beetle. There are two different species of blistle beetles, one known as Litta species and the second one is known as Mylabrus pistulata. It belongs to family Meloidae and the order is Coleoptera. It is a very important pest on bajra, occasionally assuming a breakout whenever it gets converted into an epidemic form in certain localities. But grubs of this particular pest are very beneficial because they feed on the eggs of the grasshoppers being present in the soil. Now we will see the mark of identification of both the species. The first one is known as Litta species. Mostly the adults are medium size, light brown to greenish blue in color. The abdominal section is soft in nature. The head is reddish along with the thorax, whereas they have a very well developed long 3 pairs of legs. Whereas in case of Mylabrus pistulata, the adult is bigger than that of Litta species. It is mostly blackish or brownish in color, whereas they have a yellowish or brownish strips been present on the forewings. The abdominal section is soft in nature. They have a very well developed 3 pairs of legs and the total body is blackish in color. Capitate type of antenna also. Both the species, they have a unique character been present in it. They emit a acidic substance which acts as a defending mechanism for them. Whenever it has been crushed on the human body, this acidic substance start itching the skin and gives a blister like structure on the skin, just like an air bubble. Hence this particular pest is known as blistle beetle. If you see regarding the host range of this particular pest, mostly living apart bajra, it has been observed on java, paddy, certain cucurbits and beans. If you see the life cycle of this particular pest, the eggs are being laid mostly in the soil, having a very big hatching period of about 15 days. Larvas, which are known as grubs, are mostly harmless to the plant, but they live in the soil and feed upon the eggs of the grasshopper, hence beneficial also. The pupations is being carried out in the soil itself. Beetles, after emerging from the pupa, become active mostly during the months of August to December, when there is maximum inflorescence being seen on the bajra crop. If we see the nature of damage, whenever the bajra crop is at the inflorescence stage, mostly the beetles attack on that particular plant and feed upon the pollens as well as the petals of the developing flowers, due to which there is an adverse effect being seen on the grain setting. In severe infestation, the total ear head may be developed without grains. To manage this pest, the most common method is hand collection, but a precaution should be taken to wear the hand gloves while you collect the adults. Also, hand nets can be used for collecting the beetle. However, there is the pest being seen. Also, dusting of methyl parathion 2D at the rate of 10 to 15 kg per hectare can give good results. Living apart this, on bajra there are certain minor pests also been observed, such as armyworm, Deccan wingless grasshopper, surface grasshopper, Catra hairy caterpillar. Now we will see the major pest observed on maize. The first one is known as stem borer. Its scientific name is Chiloparthylus. The second one is pink borer, Sisemenia inferens. The third one is surface grasshopper, Crotogonus species. Next one is Deccan wingless grasshopper, Colomania spanaroides. One is aphids, Prophalicifum meadis, and the next one is Delphacids, Peregrinus meadis. All the above pests have been seen in a deep manner, mostly when we studied sorghum along with wheat crop. At present, a big headache to the farmers on the maize crop is American armyworm. It is also been known as maize fallworm also. Its scientific name is Spodoptera frugidera, also under the family known as Noctuidae, and order is Lepidoptera. If you see the economics of this particular pest, it is a very severe polyphagous pest attacking more than 85 crops. In India, it was been observed on 2008 in Karnataka state. At present, worldwide, it has caused a very huge loss of about $6.2 billion. If you see the life cycle of this particular pest, the eggs are mostly been laid in masses on the leaf sections in 6 to 10 groups. Each group is of 100 to 200 eggs. Hence, in all, a single female lays near about 1500 to 2000 eggs. The eggs are small, oval in shape, mostly faint white in color, and flat at one side, and measuring 0.4 mm. Incubation period is near about 2 to 3 days. We see regarding the larva, initially the larvas are green, which become faint yellow, and at maturity mostly they are violet in color. Typical mark of inverted Y-like structure is mostly been seen on the head section, whereas there are 4 square-like spots which are black in color all over the body being seen. The larval period is of 12 to 20 days. The pupas are reddish brown in color, mostly pupated in the soil, sometimes on the fallen leaves also, or in emergency cases may be seen in the maize cob also. They have a length of about 23 to 30 mm, and the period is of 11 to 14 days. Adults are very good flyers. In an average, they cover in one night 90 to 110 kilometers. They have a very well developed wings been present with a span of about 32 to 40 mm. The forewings are dirty brown, whereas the hind wings are silvery white in color. These adults mostly hide in the day hours in the leaf sheet. Now we will see how they damage the crop. The initial larvas, which are tiny, mostly feed on the leaf section, during which several irregular patches are being observed. Later, in the second and third instar, they move towards the leaf sheet and start feeding on the growing point. At that time, they try to fill the vacant place with the help of excreta, on which the fungal growth is being observed. The fourth and the fifth instar, on whom they feed on the developing grains, are being seen attacking on the maize cob. Now we will see how to manage these particular pests. The most important thing is deploughing, because the egg and the pupal stage are being observed mostly in the soil, and if we expose them to the natural enemies, the upcoming generation can be easily controlled. The next one is try to develop healthy plants by providing them balanced nutrients so as the plants can resist the attack of that particular pest. Growing point can be filled with the soil, sand or wooden husk, maybe the ash, so as to retard the pest to come and attack the growing point. And local treatment such as soap water in the growing point can be applied to avoid the attack of this particular pest or to remove the larvae while they are attacking that particular pest. Certain bioagents such as Trichogamma, Tioisum or Telemonas remus can be applied at a rate of 25 to 30,000 eggs, mostly in 3 installments after every 8 to 10 days. Also, a biopesticide known as Nomuria rillia at the rate of 3 grams or Bacillus thuringiensis, commonly known as BT, at the rate of 1 to 1.25 kgs, or a pathogen known as Breviaria bassiana or Metarhizium anicifolia at the rate of 5 gram can be used for controlling this particular pest. Also, before planting, we can drench the soil with neem cake at the rate of 250 kg per hectare to retard the attack of this particular pest. Whenever the infestation has been found severe, different insecticidal sprays such as Thiomethazone 12.6%, Lambda Cythion 9.5% ZP at the rate of 0.5 ml per liter, or Chloroanthronipol 18.5% at the rate of 0.5 ml per liter of water can be used for controlling this pest. So friends, in today's section we had seen the major pest observed on maize, bajra along with wheat. Good day.